I was really bummed that we missed those 26 days or something. I guess there was weekends in there, but like we're episode 120. It's August 17th. This is Risk On, maybe the greatest show about risk ever, but it's not because we're not there yet. We're not able to explain risk that well, what Risk On means. And on top of that, I got a message today that someone says, congratulations on all the growth of DPW, all global, but now no one understands your company. I'm like, why is it so hard to understand? We're a holding company with all these shots on goal. I issued a deck. The deck outlines everything we're doing, all the potential IPOs, all the cash we have, all the things we're doing.
Maybe they think you still make power supplies.
We do.
I know.
We make power supplies. We make stuff for the F-35, the F-16, the F-15. We make stuff for the Iron Dome missile system over in Israel. We make power supplies for the British Railway with RELAC. We make power supplies for the military, for submarines. We make power supplies for electronic components. We make power supplies for surgical instruments that when you're in surgery you have to power. We make power supplies for ventilators.
Yep.
And everyone's like, it's too confusing.
Do some homework.
So frustrating to me. So I got to buy more stock today.
Of course you did.
At a better price. And I'll be looked at as a jackass because I get to buy it at a lower price. I don't know, whatever. I have to tell you, today was there was a moment in time where I was at the heat of frustration. I'm like, what in the heck are we doing here?
You do know.
Why is Ault Global DPW down? And then whatever.
You do know they're going to come back and say, it was unfair that you got to buy all of that at a lower price. You know, you're going to have haters again. And it's going to be awesome.
Whatever. I don't even have any commentary. I'm disgusted with the price today, but whatever. Usually don't comment on your price of your stock because you let the business speak for itself. I even pointed out, if you took out the gain in ALZN, which is $40 million, first quarter we made $1.8 million, $1.9 million. The second quarter we made $4.3 million, excluding ALZN. The company has never made this in its history.
Yep.
In its history. Okay. Whatever, let's send it down.
Yep, is what it is, man.
So I'm a little frustrated there. The market was not polite today, and I didn't think it would be, by the way. It just has been taking a while. It's the middle of August. You have the Dow Jones down 282 points, which isn't even 1%. You have the NASDAQ down 137.5 points, which isn't even 1%. You have the S&P 500 down 31.63 points, which isn't even 1%. But it was pretty bloody.
Yeah, better than the crypto market.
What's happened to crypto? Can you give us a rundown where Bitcoin is and the other nonsense coins?
Yeah, Bitcoin's running down. I mean, it's down almost 2% at 44,800 right now, 899. Sorry for those mathematicians. Ethereum's at $3,069. It may crack again, go right below 2,000, and then who knows what's going to happen. I mean,
but Ethereum's been doing great.
But you know what? Yeah, but you know what's up, right?
What?
Polkadot. Come on, man. It's a good coin. Solana has
Polkadot.
Solana's
There's a coin called Polkadot. There's really a coin called Polkadot.
Yep. It is the ninth coin by volume, the ninth coin by market cap.
Polkadot.
Swear to God.
What's it used for?
The market cap right now is $24,143,900.
What's it used for?
Some of it's used in DeFi and bridge and intermediary between Ethereum and much like Litecoin is. So it just depends on what platform you're using it on. Polkadot was written, it's a proof of stake, which I hate. But whatever. I hate proof of stake, by the way.
You hate proof of stake?
Yeah.
We were talking about this before we started the show. Proof of stake, you know, the idea with Bitcoin where you could mine it, you could just put the energy in,
right,
buy the miner and mine it, seemed more What's the word? Because I don't want to use the word communist, but it was more.
Mining?
No, the idea. So with proof of stake, you have to own the crypto
Yeah,
get more crypto.
yeah, it's communism because you can be in
No, that's not. I'm saying it's nicer to me. The thought that anyone could mine crypto
correct.
was more. What's the word? Come on, man, Josh. What's the word? Universal, open to the public.
It's more capitalistic. It's more open to a capitalist society.
Well, you're basically saying the rich people in crypto get more crypto if they have proof of stake, like
Well,
Cardano.
right. Nowadays, I guess the argument would be same with Ethereum and Bitcoin. You've got to be rich to mine those because the equipment's way out of people's reach. But here's the problem. You can also be penalized on proof of stake if you act against the chain, especially in the new Ethereum. They could technically penalize you. And it's going to cost, at the current price, it's going to cost $96,000 for you to be a contributor, for you to earn anything. Right now, you could go on that laptop you've got, and you could mine Bitcoin. You wouldn't mine a lot of it, barely any, but you could technically do it. You can't do that with proof of stake. Oh, yeah.
You can mine Bitcoin on this
Yeah,
one?
it might take you 100 years to get one Bitcoin, but you could do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, in 100 years, Bitcoin won't be available like that.
Well, I know, but I don't know what the problem with people have with, honestly, have with proof of work. It's the energy. It's the energy. Well, the entire crypto industry uses less power by half than the gold mining industry. We don't bitch about that. Oops. We don't complain about that.
We don't?
I don't think so. We complain how we're destroying the landscape, not about the energy used.
You know what's changed than before? We didn't have. By the way, I got questions on the conference call yesterday, the All Global DPW conference call, and one of them was, "Do you hold any Dogecoin?" And I thought to myself, really? Of all the things we own, ad tech pharma that's doing work for glaucoma, the people that are involved with ad tech, with all the assets we own, the question was, do I have any Dogecoin?
Look, man, it's important because Elon Musk and
I'm frustrated. I got to tell you, we have $250 million in assets, and the question was, do I have any Bitcoin?
No, Dogecoin.
Dogecoin.
I remember that. It was actually kind of funny. I'm not saying it wasn't a valid question, but
I thought maybe someone would say, which company you think would IPO first? Gresham, the EV company. What's going on? No one asked about the SPAC. What's going on with the SPAC?
Well, you would have really been reckless, though, if you were actually investing in Dogecoin, because it's just, I don't care what.
Do you remember we did all that mining? We used to get Dogecoin for free.
Yep.
What was the reason we got Dogecoin for free?
You actually, because they used merge mining. They basically used your energy on your mining pool. So Bitmain and a couple of others had a pool that did what they called merge mining. And you were basically granting them the ability to use yours. Now, we never lost any, there was no downside for us on Bitcoin. We kept mining at the exact same rate of Bitcoin, even if they were using some of our excess hash rate in that pool to mine Doge. And they were just giving it away like candy. I mean, they gave it away, I want to say, at the rate of anywhere between 12 and 2,800 Dogecoin per one Bitcoin that you solved.
Right. And then right now, our current Bitcoin, we just let it sit in the wallet, right?
We just let it sit in the wallet.
Can we give out that wallet ID and the password?
We could give out the wallet ID so people could send us Bitcoin if they really want to.
But the password, they would need it to unlock it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sure hope that's working out. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't even.
I know the auditors look at it.
They do quite a bit.
We haven't sold a Bitcoin in a year, right?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think since 2018, maybe January 2019.
So we just keep mining and getting more Bitcoin.
Yes.
That's fun. I was looking at some of these companies like Mara and RIOT. God, they're mining a ton of Bitcoin.
Well, yeah, I mean, the network went down. They've got all new machines. I mean, some of these guys are putting in all the brand new machines.
But they have to pay for their electricity, so they're going to have to sell some Bitcoin to pay for it. Right.
Well, it depends on the wherewithal. I mean, RIOT's a public company, right? I mean, it's traded and so is Mara. So
yeah, but they need the cash or the Bitcoin to be able to sell it to pay for mining.
Correct. So if they're just doing it for mining, yes, they're going to sell a portion of that off in order to pay that. But if they're
But they keep adding to their Bitcoin pool.
well, yeah, because it's going to raise. You don't mine it for nothing. But what happens if you're an investor, right? Let's pretend that Riot believes that by the end of this year it's going to be at 100,000. Why wouldn't they use some of their reserve cash to pay the electricity bill, hoping that all the Bitcoin that they're holding goes up? Because I mean, their electricity bills have got to be huge.
Pretty ugly day today. I thought the small caps. It's one of those rare couple days in a row where, you know what? Actually, let's go to. You know why I'm in a bad mood? I'll just tell you why I'm in a bad mood. I got to go watch all those videos of people in Afghanistan clinging to planes and. So breaking news today, just a few minutes ago, the Biden administration is set to extend the mask mandate for travel through mid-January. If you go to my screen real quick. Does this mean that when you go and you get on a plane, you got to wear your mask?
You do right now, anyways.
But he says it's going to be mandated through, set to expire in September 13th, but they're going to make it all the way through January.
That's going to suck.
So all those Christmas holidays, all that stuff, we're going to go over and have to wear a mask.
Yay.
Are you excited about that, Josh? I
mean, honestly, and I'm going to go Jason here for a second.
I'm going to go Jason here.
Look, if you don't want to travel,
Does that
with
mean
people,
something?
If you don't want to travel with people that are not wearing masks, don't travel. If you're that afraid of the virus, don't travel, because all the masks these people are wearing on the planes are not certified. They're not worn right. They're not an N95 or a KN95, so the particles can go right through all of those. So it really doesn't matter if you're wearing a mask. So all these people are just a bunch of dumbasses.
Yep.
Okay, that's my Jason message for the day. I hope he enjoyed it.
I see people commenting about me getting sued, being in lawsuits. Here's one of the richest guys in the hedge fund industry. Let's go to my screen. Bill Ackman, SPAC, sued. Plaintiffs say directors were promised staggering compensation.
Go ahead, say it.
I got sued, and all the directors and everyone's involved for 2 years ago when we had to do a couple reverse splits, and it was terrible. And I suffered with you. I lost millions of dollars personally. So did my company. And the lawyer sued us on behalf of 2 people in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
After, I don't know, a year and a half, the case got settled. The insurance company paid the lawyer $600,000. This is all disclosed publicly. And we didn't have to pay anything to any shareholder. And those 2 people that sued, claiming they lost money, the lawyers gave up $2,500 a piece out of their $600,000 for those 2 people. So they got $5,000, and the lawyers got to keep the $595, whatever it was.
Yep.
You guys all think out there that there's some. This isn't a system that works all the time. It is It literally is the craziest thing ever. I just don't. I am jaded as all get out right now.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not happy that people can short stocks and without a real borrow. They go borrow from one place and they short at 20 different places.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah, it's a broken little. I have to get over this whole Afghan thing, because at first I thought, well, it was Trump that did this, but really, what I discovered is that Trump negotiated a peace thing, but he wouldn't have let them just not keep their end of the bargain.
Right.
So all the training we did of the Afghan military, all the work we did with them, they just all gave up.
Well,
I get the logic of what Biden's saying. He's like, listen, they have to be willing to fight for their own freedom. If they're not, why should we have to do it? But we invaded their country.
we did.
Yeah. I saw things like, oh, the Taliban is allowed on Twitter, but Donald Trump is not.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
That makes sense.
The head of the Taliban, yeah.
By the way,
that's good.
I want to say I'm in the middle. So like Jason complains about this all the time with me that, I'm not hardcore right, I'm not hardcore left, I'm kind of in the middle. I consider myself a libertarian. And I was super grateful that the government helped us save jobs with the PPP money. I'm the first to say the government stepped in when they should have and helped us out.
Yeah, it just drives me nuts. I don't even know what to say about it, honestly.
I don't know how if you're I don't even know the proper terms if you're woke or if you're BLM. I don't know if how you are if you're a AOC fanatic or a Green New Deal fanatic, or if you're a hardcore Democrat, liberal, left winger. How you see this and go, okay, this is all okay with me.
I don't think they do.
I think that the hypocrisy on both sides now is completely. This to me is like put it all out of control. Like now it's like they're both sides just do insane things.
Yep.
Insane things. And I get it too, right? We do insane things and we do all this overseas. And then we have people here that are veterans that are homeless. Or we don't have affordable housing for everybody.
Hey, look.
Or they don't all have health care.
Look, man, I mean, in this new bill, this new $3.5 billion bill, I mean, it's a really good thing. They're giving like billions of dollars to like lacrosse teams in Iran and stuff while our veterans are sick and laying on the streets. It's awesome. They're doing some really good work here. I could lose the plot all day long, and I just don't want to.
Sure. I'm grouchy about this. I'm looking at stocks and saying whatever,
Well, and I mean, I don't know.
Palantir puts $50 million in gold bars.
I think people are getting worried, man. I mean, that's a.
Kathy Wood says Michael Burry doesn't understand innovation space after he bets against ARK Fund.
What happens if the joint
Democratic
movements-
Senator Menendez. Okay. Hey. Let's pull this up. Democratic Senator, how do you say it? Menendez?
Menendez.
Rips Biden administration for flawed Afghan withdrawal and vows hearings. Thank you.
Actually, the hearings were already proposed today, so I think that's a step forward. Look, there's no way you're going to... It was flawed the way he exited, and intelligence has said we shouldn't exit and that, we should have reversed course. But Biden went on to say that, if they do something bad, there will be consequences. And, the good news is, because we all believe him, or at least most people
He
believe
ain't
him.
going to do anything.
The Taliban has said that they're going to leave everything the way it is for women. They're still going to have
Yeah,
access to
I saw
healthcare.
that. And if there's even remotely a chance the Taliban will not hurt women, then I will at least be somewhat feel better a little bit. And Andrea, you're right. It is insane that we're not prioritizing evacuating Americans. The military, I was thinking of you because you were in the Army. The Army was having to secure the base and secure the runway and shoot bullets in the air to scare people away to let the jets take off. And people still were caught on them and then fell to their death.
Yep. That's what I was talking about yesterday. Worse yet, the Germans are now sending people in to help evacuate. The world's pretty pissed off at America.
I'll get
right
over
now.
this. We'll all get over it. I'll live in my house in Vegas, which is all air conditioned, even though it's 108 degrees outside.
Yep.
I have nothing to complain about. You don't see me giving up my house or my luxury studio or my assistants. I don't live in Afghanistan, but I
Well,
sure am sad about it.
According to some, they think you do.
I'm sad about it. I'm sad to see that happen. And for people like my father who went to Vietnam, 2 tours of duty in Da Nang, who my father, of course, has Alzheimer's and can't really say anything about it. And he doesn't even know who I am anymore. But I do remember talking about the evacuation and what happened to the Vietnamese people and how
Yeah, the Communist Party was not good to them.
No. And how we pulled them out of there. And DPW is trading for less than liquidation value. If you're selling here, you got to assume the stock is going BK. Andrew Mills, let me address that. We have virtually no debt. And we have 105 million of cash, 30 million of securities, and another 81 million of investments. I appreciate that comment because you're saying you're assuming it's going to zero. I don't want it to go to zero, but I'll be buying stock. So I'm not going to comment on DPW anymore. People want to sell me more stock, I will. I'm a believer that you invest in businesses, you own them, and you help them grow, and you either keep them or don't keep them depending on what their needs are. You know, it's like the whole Buffett thing. You own a farm. Does the farm, it's really actually a simple message. Does the farm produce revenue and it's the ownership of the farm that's producing revenue, or do you buy a stock and the company doesn't produce revenue? It is that you want to be able to sell something at a higher price, and the outcome of the investment is because the price rose, not because the business generated more money. Let me read this comment here. Hi, Todd. Thanks for yesterday's update. DPW has approximately 105 million in cash last quarter. Why did you issue 2.5 million shares? We use the ATM from time to time to keep a cash balance as we're trying to grow the whole enterprise. As you saw, we laid out we want to have $1 billion of assets. And so from time to time, we have to forecast what we're going to acquire, what we're going to sell, what's going public, etc. And we have minimum cash levels we like to maintain now. And so that's why from time to time we use it. But it's used, listen, the only reason you'd be concerned about me using the ATM, the company using the ATM, not me, you'd only be concerned if you think that we're going to deploy those assets in a way that don't earn us more money. And with 5 companies potentially that go public, I would argue, I think we're going to earn us more money, return on investment, than we get from raising capital. So it is what it is. And I understand a person's point of view. And the part that people need to understand, really easy to understand this, is that no one makes you be invested in the company that I run with my partner, Will. No one makes you own DPW. We've laid out for everyone what we plan on doing with raising capital and growing assets and buying assets. We made this very clear. I mean, it's right in the deck. We publish it on the SEC website. We send it out in the email. It's there for you. And so there's no one can debate like they don't know this unless they just don't read it. And we make internal decisions to continue to raise cash. Now, we're not using it right now, but we can use it anytime. Our documents allow us to use it whenever we want. But there you go. It's if we don't get a proper return on capital, then I understand people's point of view, right? But if you look at a capital base of 250 million, then the question is, are we getting 10%, which would be 25 million? On $1 billion, are we getting 10%, which would be 100 million? If you can get to scale, you can eventually buy back stock. You can spin things out. You can issue special dividends. There's a lot of things you can do in a holding company when you get to scale. And what I'll say to you is forget DPW for a second. When we go to do a deal, we need to demonstrate to the people we're buying, especially if we want to buy companies with EBITDA, that we have a strong balance sheet and we continue to be strong and a strong partner. And one of the benefits that Berkshire Hathaway had to it was that they grew a strong balance sheet over time and they were a trusted partner. So we want people to know when we buy your company, let's say it's a family that needs to sell for tax reasons. If let's say it's a business where the CEO passed away and the family wants to give it to someone that's going to be a good owner, we want to demonstrate to them that we have the capital base to support them and we don't have to sell them down the road, that they can have a home here at Ault Global Holdings. And so that's important that we, over time, show a legacy of strength. We haven't had that. And that's why that call yesterday was so important, because we're able to demonstrate now that we have more strength than we had before. And a lot of shot on goals. Keep in mind, if you read that release yesterday, ALZN goes up $10 is $220 million for us if we exercise all of our rights. SSNT goes up $10. That's $7.5 million for us. So we have a lot of shots on goal. We're really happy with this, and we don't. Yeah, Andrew, we don't want any outstanding warrants of any kind. We don't want this. We want to limit them. We wanted to minimize them, but I want to switch back to Palantir. Let's go to my screen real quick. Palantir bought $50 million worth of gold bars in August. As its cash pile grows, 100 ounces of bars, $50 million worth. Wow. Wait. It purchased $50 million worth in 100-ounce bars, Palantir said. Earnings statement. Wow. That's Palantir is now debt-free, the chief financial officer says. Wow, it's amazing that little business is growing like that. Debt-free and buying gold.
Yeah, but why do you put so much money into gold? I mean, does he think he's got a fear of the market tanking on him?
I think Jason has a thesis there too that you can spend gold if something happens, right?
Right.
Betting on the world coming to an end has never been a successful bet.
Right.
If the world comes to an end, it only comes to an end once. One time. Just one.
That's right.
So it's not a good bet. Now, betting on a pullback is a different story, right? Alexander Karp looks like the evil villain. I agree with you. He's a scary dude, for sure. Hey, what do you got on? What do you got? Anything you want to cover?
Well, there were a couple things, but I mean, nothing's compelling right now with crypto because DeFi is all over the place. NFTs are all over the place. I mean, I think you're seeing these surge right now because of that.
In your mind, what is DeFi? Can you tell people what DeFi is?
So DeFi is basically the middleman. They become the middleman in a transaction. I mean, that's the most simple term, right? Most people are using decentralized finance or are trying to use it as a method to, in my opinion, not skirt the rules, but navigate around regulatory issues while letting people have their finances not be tracked like they are by the central banks, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's the whole.
So DeFi is decentralization, effectively,
of the financial industry completely, right? I mean, that's the goal.
Hey, let me ask a question about to you guys. The number is 949-799-1831. 949-799-1831. If you could do me a favor, I'm going to ask a question, and I just want you to put in Bitcoin or cash. If you were to get a dividend from a crypto company, this has nothing to do with DPW. Let's put this off to the side. I'm just asking a question, a general question. If you were to get a dividend from a company, would you prefer the dividend get paid to you in cash, meaning they had crypto, they sold it and gave you a cash dividend, or would you prefer that you got your dividend in the same cash value, but in the form of a Bitcoin, where you had to have a wallet, say at a Gemini account or something like that, and you got paid that way? Could you?
Did you ask that question because of what we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, I want to know. Would you prefer this? So how, Josh? How could we put out a poll and let people answer that? Can they just? Is there a way to run a poll? Can I put it on my Twitter? Twitter lets you. I'm going to put it on my Twitter. If you could answer that poll, or just text us, cash or Bitcoin for your dividend. I'd like to understand people's perspective on whether, if you were to get a cash dividend, would you want it in Bitcoin or would you want it in cash? That doesn't make any sense. If you were to get a dividend, would you want it in Bitcoin or cash? Not if you were to get a cash dividend. Duh.
Let's say Bitcoin or Ethereum.
Now you're making it too complicated.
I don't think that's true. But
why?
Because it's just two coins, and Ethereum's an easier medium, right? The problem, you run into all kinds of problems with this, right? We just talked about this before the show.
But before you do that, make sure it says on there, this does not mean that all global holdings will be paying a dividend. This is just a question. Dude, you'll scare everybody. I'll get me in a lot of trouble Make sure that we're clearly saying that. I think we hold on. This person's saying something. Wait, there's a lot of cash, coin. What the heck? There's a cash, dividend and gold. I don't have a crypto wallet. Cash, BTC, cash, coin, cat. A lot of cash up there. Altcoin, yeah, right. Yeah, trust me. The second I launched an altcoin, the SEC would be at my doorstep.
Yep, they would.
Yeah. Hey, Todd, we want to talk to you.
Can we just talk for
Hello?
a second?
What's this altcoin thing? Yeah, I'm toast. I would be.
Dude, you heard about the Korean thing? It's a pretty big deal right now.
What?
So South Korea has new regulations on crypto exchanges. And they just did the regulatory audit for all crypto exchanges in South Korea. 0 passed. Not one.
What does that
And
mean?
the change happens in a month. If they don't comply with the new regulations on security, how they handle people's cryptocurrency, how they distribute profits, how they report those profits,
Right.
they get shut down. And that happens, I believe, in 2 months. And not one of them passed. What happens if they shut down the 4 majors in South Korea? They just shut them down. Say, okay, you can't operate anymore. What happens to the price of crypto? Starts freaking people out. I'm going to tell you that.
I think people probably want cash. That one person said they didn't have a crypto account. Yeah, you'd have to register to have a wallet at a transfer agent. You couldn't have your own wallet. It would be too complicated. Think about the thousands of shareholders it'd be.
Super not complicated, but I get it. I mean, even if they register with the transfer agent, all they've got to do is give you the QR code for their wallet address and scan and pay, scan and pay, scan and pay. I mean, it's no harder than typing it in and paying them that way. I mean, especially with the wallet addresses being that big. It's interesting.
SoFi or Hood handles crypto. I know. When I moved to Texas,
You just pay them with NFTs.
when I moved to Nevada, you know, I can tell people don't follow me all the time because someone asked me who I know really well. Oh, you're considering leaving California? I'm like, I did 6 months ago, dude.
That's great.
Kind of know you're not paying attention.
Oh, wait, I think I knew who that was.
Yeah. Who do you think it was?
I actually think that happened with Coons.
No, it's Karen, Dr. Karen.
Oh, that's right.
No, it wasn't Coons. What do you mean? He knows where come on, dude. He was here in February. Don't be crazy. What'd you say?
As a percent amount transacted, crypto is your mastery current.
You guys are crazy.
Actually, crypto is more trackable than just about any currency there is.
I'm getting pissed, by the way.
I mean, legitimately.
I'm getting pissed about Naked Brands. I was looking at it today.
That they're down again, or that they're forcing you to buy more?
No, they're down again.
Yeah.
I was looking at Naked Brands here, and it is 50.85. That's like really upsetting me. Nah, it's not really upsetting me. I'm gonna buy another 50,000 Naked Brands.
Just make sure you count the zeros this time.
Last time I messed that up.
No fat fingering this one.
Wow. So I put in an order to buy 50,000 Naked Brands at 50.85.
You were filled immediately.
I was filled immediately.
No.
Boom. Oh, earlier in the day, I bought some Naked Brands at 50.40.
It's funny. It's good to be the king. Said 500,000. Here we go again.
Yeah. Hey, you know, it's good to be the king. A friend of mine's in town, and he quoted History of the World Part 1 today.
Oh, I love
it, dude.
God, I haven't watched that in forever.
If you saw It's Good to Be the King, if you saw his Twitter,
Yep.
there's a picture of him and Mel Brooks.
Yep.
I'm jealous, dude. That guy's the greatest ever. Anyways, are you gonna bring it up or something?
Looked like he's looking for it.
I think he used his regular name. See, he doesn't use "It's good to be the king" there. But you can let's bring up the picture, dude. That's so awesome.
It is so rad.
Don't show his name. Come on, it's so awesome. Wow, Mel Brooks.
I know.
Well, he lives up in Beverly Hills. It's good to be the king.
Mel Brooks is rad.
No, it's so cool. Oh, it's crazy. Anyways, I got to get off that stuff. Well, I'm sorry to be a downer. I'm not in a good mood. I got to be honest with you. I'm a little bit bummed about Afghanistan.
Yeah, you just can't let that one go.
I'm negative on the market a little bit. You know,
It's all.
I just thought that press release yesterday, that Biden thing was just.
Him mailing it in.
It was terrible. It was a bummer. I'm bummed that Jason's sick. I know Jason and Andrea are sick. I don't know how they're doing. Jason's not really telling me. He just says he doesn't feel well today.
He won't text me right now either.
No. But there's a lot of exciting things. Yesterday was a meaningful day. We had a great quarter. We reported great earnings. ALZN's down. It's going to work through all those shareholders that are selling, that had those founder shares. It's going to work through that eventually. ALZN announced that they picked a contractor for their first test, their phase 1, that starts in September. That was a great announcement today.
Yep.
DPW announced that it's in compliance with the New York Stock Exchange finally after a year. And on top of that, that little BC thing is removed, and DPW is a clean bill of health when it comes to meeting the rules of listing requirements for the New York Stock Exchange American.
Again, awesome.
They require $6 million in equity. We have about $239 million.
Like $1.
Yeah, we're what?
Like $1.
No, we have plenty of equity. And so I'm pleased. It's a lot of good things to be positive about. Can't stay here and be negative forever. But I'm a little tired, little worn out.
I mean, there's a lot. This news cycle's been pretty brutal, and the market's not been kind.
Right. Please clear up any confusion on the legacy miners. I'm going to answer this question. Go forward here. Todd, please clear up my confusion on legacy miners. Okay, so yes, we have more than 1,000. Joe, how many 1,000 miners do we have back there in Indiana? We say 1,000, but it's more
it's close,
like 1,500 to 1,700, or
it's closer to 2,300.
2,300.
Yeah.
The reason why we say 1,000 miners is not because we want to be misleading, but because some of them break and some of them are turned on at different times because some of them do better hashing than others, and
they're older legacy.
They're older legacy miners, and those are where we got that 400,000 of mining, right? That we've done this year. The new S19s we're expecting delivery that we bought for February. We're expecting delivery in September, and then from there we'll outline our mining capability. Those miners would be significant. That's a significant amount of revenue if those miners get installed. And that will be at our new facility in Michigan. There are some miners in Michigan, by the way, too, right?
There are.
There's not that many, under 100, right?
90.
Yeah. So we're ramping up that profile. We learned a lot from the first time, so we're really cautious relative to what happened the first time. And so the data center, we have to deal with the fact that it's an enterprise and hyperscale data center being built along with what they call, when we mine, it's a high density. So we do all three things. They're high density, enterprise, and hyperscale. And so we have to blend what we're taking from them versus what they're doing for other customers, because we expect the data center revenue to ramp dramatically over the next couple of years. It's going to be a big data center, we hope.
Big
data center.
Big is an understatement.
Big is an understatement. So that's what's happening. 1,000 plus miners, legacy being used now, and another 1,000 new miners coming online, we think, in September. Mm-hmm. I've actually been told that some of them may be delivered at the end of August. We'll see what happens there. Stay tuned. We stay with our guidance we gave you yesterday. But we expect that to be a more important part of our total asset base, which we said on the call yesterday. We want to maintain around 10% of our total assets in Bitcoin and Bitcoin assets, so including miners. So we're pretty passionate about that staying around that 10%. So if as we grow the asset base, if we got to $1 billion, we'd want that number to be around 100 million. We are a diversified holding company focused on a couple of categories, and I encourage everyone, if you want to link to the deck that was published on the SEC website, we're happy to put that up there for you. Yeah.
Said about right.
Anyways, we spent a lot of time on this. By the way, Dominic, I agree with you. A lot of crypto is used for bad reasons. Hopefully, we don't use them for those reasons. We don't deal any drugs or scams or human trafficking, but it is a problem.
I disagree with that statement.
Well, let's cover that. Why do you disagree?
As a percent of amount transacted, crypto is used massively for crimes, scams, drugs, and human trafficking. I would agree.
Oh, actually, don't respond yet.
Okay.
I have to respond to that, actually, Dominic. I had someone really smart tell me something that makes that false, okay? A vast more percentage of U.S. currency has been used in crimes. A vast many more. People get robbed at ATMs. People use it for drugs. They say that the average $1 bill has cocaine on. I mean, there's all kinds of
Like every single one.
dollar bill
Yeah.
has cocaine traces on it.
Yeah. So I think that this is the same analogy that they used about EV cars, right? They would say, like, Tesla has 13 people that have died in their EV cars last month. And then Elon Musk would test out. Ford had 900. Gas cars, people get killed in too, friends, okay? And there's an old adage I've learned. I got to remind myself, God, actually, this has been therapeutic. Talking to you guys has put me in a better mood. I'm in a better mood now. I could go on. It's not always never. You should never say never, and it's not always. It's not always never. It's just not. And when you say, well, crypto's used in a certain way, yes, everything can be used for bad. Propofol is a great drug. I've been involved in the healthcare system for 30 years as a Wall Street guy and investing in healthcare. Propofol can be used for very bad things too. Michael Jackson, what do you think of that? Right?
Yep.
Marijuana can be used for wrong things. Cocaine, by the way, liquid cocaine or a form of it, they use to numb your nose when they break it back in place.
Glue and bath salts.
Doritos kill more people than COVID. I would tell you, Andrew, it's absolutely true. I almost ate a Dorito yesterday, and I have Doritos at my house, and it definitely, probably maintains my weight here.
Me too.
I love Doritos.
Me too. So good.
My wife and I, when we first met, I had a ham sandwich, and I took Doritos and put it on the sandwich. And she said to me, "Hey, I do that too." It was love at first sight.
The first time you ever did that in front of me, I thought you were crazy, and then it's so good.
Put Doritos on there, like nacho cheese Doritos. Hey, Skyla.
Yeah.
Why are you so quiet over there? I mean, you can butt in anytime you want.
I know. You guys were having a little banter over there.
Okay, so give me some joke and take your time. Set it up. I want to hear the joke, and I want to put it in. It's going to put me in a good mood. Hold on a second here. Hold on.
Perfect.
Oh, white.
Holy shit.
You ready?
Okay, let's go.
What do you call a cow with 2 legs? Lean beef.
Seriously?
Oh, my Lord. Can you go get Randy
Made you
for
laugh.
me, please?
Oh,
Yeah,
my
I can
goodness.
go get Randy.
Mary Jane commits no harm. You're right. You don't see a lot of people robbing people over marijuana, do you?
Oh, yes, you do.
What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah.
What are you talking about? People, when they're high, they go rob people?
No.
Okay, that's different.
No, it is. It is absolutely not different.
People rob people.
The same people that are high that don't commit the crime commit it when they're not high. I mean, to get the weed.
There's a strong crowd around here. Showmanship on Skyla's part.
It was great.
They rob dispensaries. It's different.
I know, right? We rob banks. They're insured.
Ah! Oh my God. Oh my God. Just hitting the news cycle right this second. Holy smokes. You guys are this will be funny. Go to my screen.
Oh, that's right. He had to go. Yeah, that's right.
You guys see the screen? Joe?
My comment is
No, read it out.
Texas Governor Abbott, who banned mask mandates, tests positive for COVID. Yeah, and?
I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I watched living proof of my friends get sick. They didn't have it.
I'm obviously not an anti-vaxxer, but I am an anti-masker because the CDC's own guidance says that the mask that people are wearing, their American flag mask or their bikini, reverse bikini, taking one cup off a woman's bikini top and putting it over their face or anything doesn't work. The N95 masks work, the KN95 masks work. And the problem with that is that most of those people aren't even wearing it correctly. If I had an N95, I'd have to shave most of my beard off so that it would fit and form a seal. So I'm only an anti-masker in that I don't think they work. If it makes you feel safer, cool, that's good for you.
Right. Hey, it's a tough summer. Little bit of tough market here. I think that
I'm good with gas masks, Tyler.
I think that the small cap market has been selling off since March slowly. You can see it. It's not the same market as it was. We'll see what happens in September.
Is it because it's summer, though? Because people aren't watching it
Well, I
as
think people are
closely?
starting to return to work, and there's not as many people home, and not as much time to trade as you were. I don't know. I don't know what the reasons why the small cap market sold off.
That's actually
The
pretty
large cap
interesting.
market, basically, the big four, big five, haven't really sold off. So until they sell off, the market's still going to continue to be strong, right? Rates are low as can be. I wonder what happened with rates today. Actually, that's a good check. I should look into that. Let's see, U.S. market bonds.
I guess it's good to be the king real quick. Mask isn't for you, it's for others. You wear a mask to help prevent the spread from you, not to prevent getting the virus. I never thought it was to prevent me from getting the virus. I'm saying that the mask doesn't work. The particles go through the mask both ways, not one way.
Let's go to the screen real quick. If you were to pay any attention to anything, it would be right here. If you look at the 10-year at 126, the 7-year at 104, the 30 years at 190, you got to pay attention to this 10-year. There's really no yield out there. And as long as rates continue to go lower, you're going to have a market that's buoyed by low rates and really nowhere to go, right? So I think eventually this pullback in small cap will bottom out and we'll start a new cycle. But until the large caps give up a little bit of a correction,
What about the housing market giving up a correction?
Well, you think about during COVID, we all discovered that we had to stay home. So we all thought, maybe I will have to stay home. I probably want a little bit of a nicer place, right? Mm-hmm. I got to relook at everything, kind of where we are. I gotta look at the charts. I got to look at everything and sort of reset myself for what's going to happen in the second half.
I'd actually agree with you on that, though, because now all these big businesses are saying, well, at least till January or maybe forever because we found it you're still as productive.
Right.
And you can work from home.
The one thing I know for sure is crypto's here to stay. Mm-hmm. I really believe that in my heart. I believe that crypto's here to stay, specifically Bitcoin. I think all these other coins are going to go the way of what happened in the .com world, where everyone and their mother was a .com play, and about 85 to 90% of them went away, and only the big ones survived. I think Bitcoin survives. I think Ethereum survives, and then below that, then you have challenges like whether Litecoin survives. Is it usable? Is that Lightning Network? Those are things like that are going to be relevant. But I'd probably stay with the big boys, right?
Well, DeFi is going to play a big role in which ones survive other than Bitcoin. I mean, I believe Bitcoin survives, and I believe Ethereum survives because they're building so much of it on that platform. But
we've got a lot going in a lot of spaces. I hope everyone has a chance to check out, if you want to ask me questions about DPW, check out the filings yesterday. It's important we stick within the filings of what we disclosed. So I appreciate everyone's time. It is after 2 o'clock here on the West Coast. Sorry for the somber attitude. We'll be taking questions tomorrow.
all right.
It's going to be a question Wednesday. I don't know what that means. I don't have a catchy phrase for that. But the whole show is gonna be questions that we're gonna take from the viewers the entire time. We're gonna cover the markets in the morning, right when we get into it, and then we're gonna take questions. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about Michael Burry. We'll talk about the questions I have about the market. Hey, if you have names you want us to review, we're gonna review the charts right here on the screen tomorrow. Don't forget to text 949-799-1831 if you are a friend of the firm, friend of me. Get on the mailing list, and we're going to give out some shirts tomorrow, some hats, some other things. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Take care. Be safe. Glad you're not in Afghanistan. Take care. Bye-bye.